evening and welcome to Moving Forward, a production of the Bay and Grantstown Advancement Association. On this program, we seek principally to identify obstacles in the progress of our nation. And with the help of all of our people, including those who we have in studio, we seek to address these obstacles to either eliminate them or at least reduce them so that the nation can move forward. And that is the main objective of this program. Welcome, and we trust that you enjoy this program as much as we enjoy putting it on for you. My name is Reverend C.B. Moss, your host. While the nation seems to be addressing many of its various economic sectors, tourism, agriculture, construction, and all the rest of it, there is an area that is being woefully neglected, and we are feeling it economically, and that is the area of culture. Culture is an integral part of any society, and if the economy is going to thrive, it must find a way to include culture. And so on this program, we're talking about liberating the creative economy. We've got so much talent in this nation, it's unbelievable, particularly among our young people. And this talent needs to be freed. It needs to be just liberated through policy, through the changing of mindsets and all that. But we need to capitalize on this. It's unbelievable what creativity can do and what talent in the cultural sector can do. And that's what we want to address this evening. Our guest is a very, very fine budding artist who we predict this nation will be hearing a lot about in the years to come. Her name is Miss Minolta Butler, better known to you who are really clued into the creative economy or creative society as the Coffee Lady. And we'll be talking about that a little later. But in the interest of full disclosure, let me say at the top that Minolta is my spiritual daughter, having been born in our church and grew up in our church and still is a part of our church. And I say that so that those of you who know that will know that I'm not saying what I will be saying because of that, but because it is the truth. So Minolta, welcome. It is good having you with us this evening. And I think our viewers are going to get a very, very fascinating look at a young lady who has already achieved so much, but is really just on the cusp of fame, just on the cusp of breaking through and becoming the great artist that you already are within. It just now needs to be manifested. Give us just a thumbnail sketch of who you are, your background, where were you born, and that sort of thing.
Okay, so as you know, my name is Minolta Butler. I've been an artist from the age of 5 years old. That's a while back.
Yes.
But I know art, I always wanted to be an artist, and I never was discouraged as a young child. Growing up with siblings that were already artists themselves, graphic artists, brothers, sisters, I never was encouraged. So from that young age, I knew what I wanted to be, and I stuck with that till this day. Art in a whole for me was a slippery slope, bittersweet adventure to this day. And I always find different ways and different avenues to be unique as an artist, because I always wanted to be like go beyond just being an artist, go beyond just being a creator. I wanted to not just paint, not just draw, I wanted to create. And I think it's a difference between just being an artist. A real artist, it creates. They create the impossible that you think isn't really possible. And I try to do that as an artist. But art has always been a calling for me.
Well, let's give some credit to whom credit is due. For you said you grew up in a family of artists and your siblings, and no doubt that has positively impacted, your artistic life. Tell us who they are, just to give them some credit so they don't think they helped you along and been an inspiration to you and a model, and then you throw them aside just because you're on the verge of greatness. Tell us who they are.
Well, I have 3 brothers, but I grew up with 2. One is, his name is Tito Butler. He's the elder among the 3rd boy. I grew up with him and I watched him draw. He always was into comics, characters. So I kind of mimicked him in a younger age, and I wanted to do what he was doing, and it was my foundation of getting started. And then Daha was always right along with Tito. So it almost they were the same way, but in different styles. So I kind of stuck along with them. They would always give me pencils and papers. I would tell them, you know what, if you're painting, I want to paint too. So they would set me aside and they would give me a piece of paper and maybe a paintbrush, and they were like, you know what, well, you do this, you use this color, and that's who I should give credit to, because they were like a helping foundation for me from the beginning at a very young age. They never were like, oh no, you're too young, don't break up my coloring pencils, don't break up my pencils, what you doing, you wasting my paint. It never was that. They knew I had an interest in what they were doing, they saw it, so they encouraged it.
Well, please don't leave out your sister. She is very good in craft.
Yes, my sister is very good
If
craft.
you leave her out, then she'll feel, neglected. Okay, tell us.
Yeah, my sister, she's very educated, well educated. We call her the brains in the family because we were more the creators, and then you need the brains. She was the brains. So, but she was very, very, very. She drew dresses, like prom dress and stuff like that. I don't think she never really got into it, but she always was good with her hands, and she displays that with her kids at school. So she always likes to create things, whether it's little junk new boxes. She loves decorating class, so it's more of an interior design.
Okay, and her name is?
Finesse Butler. Rami.
She is Mrs. Rami, and she is a teacher.
The teacher of the year.
That's right. She was designated teacher of the year at C.C. Sweeting High School, and she is in the finals.
Yeah, she's in the finals.
And let's hope that she wins.
Yes.
Because that would make us all very proud.
Very.
All right, you've given credit. What about your father? He recently passed.
Yes.
He also had artistic skills.
Yeah, he wanted to be an architect, actually.
Yes.
But unfortunately, I think back in the days, when you have to provide for family and stuff like that, you're put in a position where, let's go with something that we know will help you.
That's right, that you get an income every week.
Yeah, that you compared to being an architect back in those days. He was only about, I think, 19 when he had that choice, and he was straight that way. But I don't think he regretted it, but he always told me that he wanted to be an architect.
But he became a public servant, having spent decades at the Bahamas Immigration Department.
40 years.
Retired a few years back and passed a few months back.
Right.
Yeah, well, listen, we're going to talk about him because that is a painting of him that you did. We'll talk about that a little later. But having given credit now to everybody, don't leave mommy out, the inspiration.
Yes, my mommy is one of my, they use the phrase, my A1. So she's literally my A1 from day one. So she's always supported me. I've known numerous of people who told her, well, Minolta, she should be a model. Why you don't let her to do these other things, marketing and business? And she would say, no, my daughter wants to be an artist. She's going to be an artist. She says, I know she's going to be an artist. And she supported me. She'll support me till this day with anything. I never needed anything when it came to art. She made sure I had it. She made sure to be at every show, every exhibition I could possibly be in. She was always there, so it never was a no. I told her from the age of 5, well, Mommy, I want to be an artist. She was like, okay, well, you need to start working to be an artist. You can't just say that and, I know you can draw, so let's see what you got. So that's basically her. That was her. That's what she always supported me. She was a great support.
Well, that's great. And in that environment, there's no wonder that you thrived because there was no pressure on you, We know that in some families, they don't view art or anything creative as a viable way of life. they see it as a sideline, you know, as a hobby. And now you must go and get a job, go to school, get a bachelor's degree in something or other so you can earn a living. Do this on the side.
Right.
But it speaks well for your family that they saw that you had the talent, you had the desire, and they nurtured that, and that is why you are where you are. Now, having given that little background of you, you thrived as a young artist. You entered contests, tell us about some of those.
Oh, well, in my, I guess, teenage years, I've been in calendars, RBC 100 years celebration, which is every 100 years. I won't live to see the next 100 years when they do a new calendar, but I was luckily blessed to be in that one as a teenager, and I think I was attending Doris Johnson in the 11th grade, I think it was. I was also a part of Scotiabank's calendar, which was back in 2017, so that's 2017 edition. I was also in the Central Bank art competition in 2017, which I won the Staff Choice Award for my entry of my coffee painting, and I think that's where a lot of people got to really see in person my coffee piece. Well, a lot of people, because a lot of people know about my pieces, but it's more like on social media or whatever. So it was that chance to get to actually see the work and see it in person, and many others. I've been featured on so many blogs, so many social media platforms, the Shade Room, you know, I've been featured many places. I've been featured on settings and celebrity pages. I've been featured on the Red Table Talk, that's with Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith, which is Will Smith's family.
Yes,
I've been featured on the Dead Sons page. I've been featured on a lot of artists. Barris, Jamaican, yes. Jamaican singer has been featured on. Me and him and I exchanged conversation about the piece I did for him. So, you know, I've had a good run thus far.
Well, that's right, and that's very appropriate because we're going to take the next phase of your professional career when we return from this quick break. Don't go away, folks.
Only love can save us now. Only love.